Welcome to Secrets from a Billionaire's Matchmaker with matchmaker Gina Hendrix.
Well, hello and good morning. I am so super excited for today's show. Yep, I'm coming in hot, extra hot, because my guest today is extra hot. No, maybe not the sexiest man in the world, but the smartest when it comes to love and dating and relationships. And some might say the sexiest man in the world, who knows? I'm super excited. I'm going to tell you all about him. But in the meantime, welcome to Secrets from a Billionaire's Matchmaker. I'm your host, Gina Hendrix. As you may or may not know, I've been a matchmaker since 2008, working with some of the most eligible men in the world. Men tell me everything. And this show is designed to inform you, enlighten you, encourage you to raise your standards, to think outside the box, and try to look at the world through a new perspective, my perspective, if you will. And today, my guest's perspective. He is legendary, and I am absolutely beyond thrilled to have him. He's one of the most well-known relationship experts in the world, and he's been on Oprah amongst many other shows over the years. You already know his name. You've probably read his books, and if you haven't, you need to. He's the author of the legendary Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. He's one of the best selling authors and that's one of the best selling books of all time, by the way. He's written over 20 books since then. Today, he's here to give us the real science behind why men pull away, why timing matters when it comes to intimacy, and what it actually takes to keep a high value man invested. So listen up, ladies. All right? Why waste another second? Let's bring this awesome guy on. Ladies, please welcome the one and only John Gray. Thank you for joining me, John.
I'm happy to be with you.
Thank you. I told the ladies, so I've been queuing them up because, of course, in the 90s, I read your first book, which was, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And then I'm like, what's he up to now? And so we were looking at it. And so then I discovered you wrote this book too, which
Yeah.
surprised me, the staying focused in a hyper world, which opened up a whole Pandora's box. Now I've gotten all the like protocols that you've mentioned. I've gotten all of those. I've gotten all of those. And we've gotten a bunch of questions from our ladies because I was queuing them up. Because one
Right.
thing that was really, and then of course, Beyond Mars and Venus, you've just done so much, John. So what's your most recent book? I'm curious.
Well, the one I focus on with relationships is Beyond Mars and Venus. That's where we go into all the hormonal differences to explain our differences and to explain why we need to apply new insights if men and women are going to get together. Because women are more like men these days. And part of what they really need most from a man is not the provider, the security, although you need some of that, is you need help to come back to balancing your male and female side. Okay, so you have a male and female side. And part of that is romance. So think about what romance is, which is whenever a man does something for a woman that she doesn't have to do for herself. Now, this is a new way of understanding. If I take you to a restaurant, you can cook for yourself, but I take you to the restaurant and do something that you can do for yourself, but I'm going to do it for you. So anytime you have to do something, that's your male side. So women are busy in this place of have to all the time, feeling a bit overwhelmed. And they have this female side that gets validated through their personal relationships with other women, shared experiences. It's a bit unrealistic to expect from a man to have shared experience with you. I mean, you just have a different reality, different hormones set, different preferences, desires, reactions, and so forth. So that's why women need to make sure they have a strong foundation and getting validation for being feminine from other women as opposed to men. You look to men to provide a kind of partnership which relieves you of being stuck on your male side. Okay, that's the whole key to it.
So, John, one of the ladies was asking, this question for ladies comes up a lot, especially if they're strong and independent. So, if you're on a date with a guy, or maybe you've been dating him for a few months, should you offer to split the bill at dinner?
Definitely not,
Right,
without a question in my mind.
right.
Uh, but by the way, I was just quoting from my new book, which I'm working on right now, which is called Men Are from Mars, Women Are from Venus for Strong and Independent Women.
There we go. And by the way, ladies, John wrote all those books that are on the shelves behind him. No, I'm just kidding. Probably.
I did. Those are all my books, and I have more. I
Sure.
counted up the other day, there were 30 titles, but they're not all up there. They're kind of stored somewhere. Yeah,
Unbelievable.
it's been pretty prolific. And then I got a little bit lazy. This is what happens to men when you get rich. And, I'm never lazy in terms of promoting. I'm always teaching and whatever. But the hard work for me is sitting down and writing a book.
I know. How do you find the time?
You just make it. That's how you do it.
Right.
Uh,
Do you write every day, John?
I am right now, not normally. I haven't written in almost 5 years or something. I just started. My motivation, see, this is what happens to men. Just understand, men's biology is primarily testosterone. Testosterone goes up when you have to do something and you have to work, then you work, your testosterone goes up. Even though my wife died, that really dropped everything. 6 years ago, she died.
I'm sorry, John. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was terrible. I was depressed for 2 years, grieving and alone. And then COVID came, staying alone. And I just didn't have the juice to sit down and write. And I had, and a big part of that, that's only part of it. The other part of it was, this is just helping women understand men, is that I became lazy in that I didn't have to work to make money. And so recently I had $30 million in my trust, and my business partner died and he'd lost all of it. So basically, when your whole savings account goes along for the support for your children and everything.
Oh, wow. You got to start dancing again.
I just sat down and said, okay, I got to make some money.
Wow. Wow.
Every day I get up at 7 o'clock and I write all day, and I take breaks to do kind of the administrative work or some promotion books and so forth. But this is an example of what happens to men. They have to be motivated. And the same thing happens in relationships. We've got the newness stimulates a huge amount of testosterone. So we have all this energy in a woman and so forth. But once you have sex, which is the subconscious urge inside of men to find a woman to have sex with, that's an unconscious drive. Eating and sex are the most important things in the universe.
How long should a woman wait before she says yes to having sex?
Well, that's a delicate question. There's not a rule, but the rule is definitely not right away. If you're looking for a commitment, long-term relationship, what happens typically for men is as soon as they have sex, their female hormones shoot up and their testosterone goes down 20%. Okay, so this is anytime men indulge in what they love to do, enjoy doing. If I eat ice cream, my estrogen goes really high, my testosterone goes down. If I'm working hard like I am now, my testosterone's super high. It's not fun at all, except it's ecstatic because I'm channeling wisdom, but it's hard work.
Yeah.
Something I have to do. That strengthens a man. So in dating, if a man has to do things to win a woman over, then his testosterone will go up and it will stay up, and it allows him to bond with her, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. You have to have those bonds before you have sex, because after sex, the sex energy is depleted in a man. His testosterone goes down. And if he doesn't have a bond with her where he's connected to her, he will feel repulsion to her. And this is why, you can map this out with porn. You see men go on porn sites. There's no real love. He doesn't know the woman at all, but he's totally turned on. He loves the experience. The whole thing lasts 8 minutes. He never goes back.
Right.
If you want a man to come back to you. So I had one woman, she waited a month. They had 7 dates. And, he was talking about, I want to be in a monogamous relationship and so forth, everything she wants. She wants to get married. He wants to have children. They're talking all about that. They had sex. And after sex, then the next day he kind of said, well, I don't really feel like I want to be monogamous now. He just said all the right words in order to get laid. I'm sorry, that's a percent of men.
So then for a lot of women, they're going to say, well, then, gosh, how am I ever going to know if he's telling me the truth?
Regarding what?
Well, regarding, so in that scenario, they'd been on 7 dates. I guess you're saying that maybe it wasn't enough time invested.
That's
But
what my point is. There
yeah,
wasn't,
right.
he just wanted a booty call. He wanted to get
But
laid.
how much, but right. So you're saying 7 dates wasn't enough. So I know the women are saying to themselves, then how will they know? Is it 10 dates? Is it 15 dates? Is it, how do they know, John?
It, 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 look, 10% of the guys out there are sociopaths. That's what this guy was. And I mean, I know them. They lie, they cheat, they do whatever they can to get into your bed. And so what you do is you put them off. You put them off. And the way you put them off for months, there's no reason to not get put off for months unless you're like really assured that you already had discussions. Although before he had sex, he said, yeah, I promise I'm going to be monogamous and everything. And then next day, I don't really feel good about that. He was just one of those cases. And I'm sure many women have experienced that. So to be safe, it could be months. And you're forming a relationship. It's not just about sex. And for men, there's a drive inside of men where a big part of it is all about sex. He's horny, he wants to have sex, he's addicted to sex because almost all men are doing porn, which is a bummer. So the answer to that is, how do you put a man off when he wants sex? Okay, first of all, you don't have sex until you're in a committed relationship. Although this guy already knew, I'll say I'm in a committed relationship, so he was just lying. But she had also asked for him to give up his dating app as well, which was a sign of monogamy. And he said he would do it. And then afterwards, well, I don't feel like doing it. Okay, so that's just next. You just kind of go messed out on that one. But if he had waited longer, probably with that guy, he would have dropped off. I mean, to me, if you're really looking for a marriage partner, you could be looking at, 3 months or something where you're dating, you could be making out, you can be kissing, you can be touching. But when it goes beyond that, then it's up to the woman to say, I need to go slow. I'm a little old fashioned. I really like this. Every cell in my body wants to go all the way, but I need to go slow. Now, see, that way she feeds his ego so he doesn't feel rejected.
Right.
It's a very, very important thing. And more important than actually having sex is for him feeling that she wants to have sex with him, and for her own reasons, that she needs to go slow, because men negotiate for it. You're getting all hot and heavy. She says, oh, I want a commitment first. Well, okay, I'll give you a commitment. Okay.
Right.
What else do I have to do? What else do I have to do? You just say, well, that's good. Let's be in a committed relationship for a while. Let's get rid of the apps. Let's date. And then, and I can't wait for that to happen. I'm just not ready yet.
I love it. I love it. We need to do this rapid fire because we don't have him long. Go for it.
Yeah. Well, you just described me, I feel like, in that last example, John. Anyway, okay. How to better pre-qualify someone quicker to determine if they have an avoidant attachment style. It took me about 2.5 months to realize this was the case with this person. And I don't want to make that same mistake again. It was very painful. And I'm still in recovery over it.
Let me ask you something real quick, because we have short time, so I don't mean to interrupt. I could take long from the therapist. I got to ask question for an hour, but I think I know where you're going with this. I need to ask some questions. So with that particular one that had the avoidance attachment style, what did you feel when you first met him?
Well, I felt like when I first met him in person, it was good connection. We had really good conversation. I did ask a lot of questions. I was a bit nervous, so I asked more questions than he did. He responded and he was, very responsive. And then we immediately made a plan to go out again.
Were you turned on to him at all?
Yeah, because physically he was like.
Okay, that's your pattern. You get turned on to men who have avoidance style. So the right man for you who doesn't have that style, well, you won't get turned on to right away. Mm-hmm. It will take a while for it to build up. And that's usually, based upon childhood experiences or wounds or traumas or whatever. Women get attracted to unavailable men. So you can look at your body and say, am I turned on to him very soon? And the more you flame onto a man, the more wrong he is for you in most situations, if that's your pattern. There is a situation where I flamed onto my wife, Bonnie, right away when I first met her, but I never married her. I married somebody else and came back to her after life experiences. Mm-hmm. So it's just, we didn't wait long enough for me to feel a stronger commitment to her. So the time a man has to put forth and energy he puts forth to you, he bonds with you by doing things for you. And because you're excited by him right away, he got what he wanted. What men want is women to be
How many days before you slept with him?
7.
There you
Yeah,
go. 7.
I get it. But you were feeling it. So I'm describing a pattern. Two mistakes you make. One is you already revealed that you asked more questions than he asked. Uh, Basically, you're trying to penetrate him rather than talking a lot more. Don't ask him so many questions. Just talk, share. It's the opposite of what everybody says. Oh, men think, oh, women talk too much. Well, they do talk too much and sometimes, but on a date, you want to make sure that you're having conversation and probably talking 3 to 5 times more than a man. He needs to learn how to listen, connect with you, be interested in you. He bonds with you that way. Men bond by penetrating, not by you penetrating them. So it's a very common mistake women make is to create conversation. You don't want to sit there and boring on a date, the awkward moments. Women ask questions. So yeah, you can start the question, one short question very quickly. You just acknowledge his answer. Well, that makes sense. What a good idea. And then talk a lot more. Talk about yourself, talk about your opinion, talk about your feeling. And it's okay if there's differences of point of view. Check the part of you that's a people pleaser. Men cannot be attracted to you if you're a people pleaser, because people pleasers are not authentically expressing their point of view. And what you want a man who appreciates your point of view, or appreciates that you have a different point of view and you're not trying to change his point of view. That's a subtlety, is that have differences is a good thing. Differences attract, as long as you're not trying to change the other person or being offended by the other person. Just think about, that's the book, Beyond Mars and Venus. Thank you.
Get into some of these questions too. Well, actually, I'm just gonna. How do you get a man to open up and connect, John?
So thanks. So the whole thing is, when a woman is wanting a man to open up, she's the one who needs to open up. A man opens up to the extent that a woman opens up. And usually women don't open up until they feel a man opens up, because that would make her feel safe. If I can get him to talk about his feelings, what's going on inside, then you'll feel safe to talk about what's going on inside of you. It's just the opposite. You need to be the leader in opening up and sharing what goes on inside of you. And that's very awkward. That's scary for women. It takes courage. We both have to have courage. Men have to have the courage to, plan dates and do things for you and commit to you and all that. But your courage is to open up without him opening up first. And then what you begin to experience is that men just don't open up like women. This is an unrealistic expectation. Women say, I want to have deep conversations about our feelings about life and everything. Men don't do that generally. And the men who do are way on their female side, and you'll be tired of them because they'll talk too much. So it's this idea that happens where women want men to open up and go deep together, is women need to have girlfriends or therapists or coaches in order to have that support to go deep inside. Then what happens is the more you open up and share your insights, you ask him to listen, and he begins to understand. He begins to penetrate. He begins to empathize. He's there for you. That's the difference between a man-woman relationship and woman-to-woman friendship. Two women open up together. For a man, you particularly want him to be respectful, understanding, compassionate, empathetic to you opening up. And how does he do that? You just simply open up and ask him just to listen. And then when he does the normal thing of giving advice or trying to solve your problem, you say, oh, no, I don't need to do that. I really enjoy just being able to share these things with you, and it makes me feel really good. So that's how you get a man to open up and connect. You don't connect by penetrating him. See, 2 ways to connect. One is you go into him. Another way is he goes into you. That's the purpose. That's the ideal balance, is him going into you. If you go into him, he doesn't have a hole. All you get is the asshole.
Okay. A lot to take in here.
And women have this huge need that they have to go penetrate into a man because they don't have women friends. You have to realize these are your lower needs. This is your teenage need to be with, explore and validate your femininity with other women's shared experiences. He's just not going to have the same need to talk about what goes on inside of him. We all have this inner world. Women, to process it, need to do it out loud. Men need to mull it over, analyze it, think about it, and not talk about it until they feel good. Then they can share their feelings. It's not like he never shares feelings, but when he feels good, he shares his feelings of love and appreciation and shares what he does in his life, shares his goals and dreams, so forth. But once he's processed them, he shouldn't be going to a woman to process his feeling like two girls would do together, sharing, oh, what's going on with you, what's going on with me. Can you relate to that, Gina, what I'm talking about?
Oh, I absolutely can relate to it. 100%. Listen, as a matchmaker, I deal with men, so I get to see this behind the scenes from both women and men, what they do wrong and right. And yes, I agree with it 100%.
So this is just correcting an expectation of what a relationship with a man should look like.
Right.
So then what's the picture? It's a partnership where a man is respectful of your feelings, where a man is empathetic to your feelings, where a man is respectful of your wishes and wants and needs, where a man wants to please you, as his primary goal. When women are with women, your goal isn't to please that woman that's not your goal. The girlfriend, you want to please her, but you want her to please, it's reciprocal. You want to please her, so she'll please you.
Hey,
Men,
John.
we don't care about being pleased.
So then I know women are thinking too. I know what they think. Really quick, the sex thing, I think that was a great one. I think wait, put them off as long as possible. But what about these women that say they definitely want to kiss and make out on a first date? They want to see, should a woman also wait for that kind of stuff too?
No. If she feels like it, that's fine. Just at a certain point, she says, "Oh, feels so good. I so much want to go forward. I just know I need to go slow. I need to feel I'm in a committed relationship. We've gotten to know each other." But if you want to kiss, definitely kissing is really important. And you shouldn't go for too long without kissing, because kissing allows the genes to connect. Actual saliva touching goes into the computer and causes more attraction if the person's right for you, or causes repelling if the person's not.
Do you think, John, this has happened to me twice. I've talked to women about this before. Where I've dated men and like I wasn't attracted to him. I wasn't attracted, but he was so nice and did all the right things without putting pressure on me. And I wanted to like him so much that finally I just went for it, and we ended up kissing, and then I became wildly attracted to him.
That's what I see to be the truth. That's the case. I think that happens a lot for happily married couples, is they didn't feel this huge sexual chemistry. He'll feel chemistry, but she won't feel chemistry. He has to earn it. What's happening is she's going from mental communication, mind connection. Then he does things for her. That's heart connection. And when that connection is established on both the mind and the heart, then she'll feel flame on below the waist.
Right. Earn it. I love that. A lot of men these days don't want to put in that kind of time. They feel
Of course not. Of course not. And it's women, I don't want to be too harsh here, but it's because women made it easy. It used to be that you had to be, think about what the wisdom of cultures was. Men had to go through all kind of rituals. Male animals have to spend weeks getting a woman. It's a whole thing, whereas women don't give it out easily. She wants to be wooed. And it's not psychological, it's hormonal. Yeah. Is it literally what you're describing is an appropriate compatibility, where you're not going to flame on unless your certain needs are met before that. Women have more requirements and mental, emotional bonding than physical bonding. Whereas men start out with physical bonding. When I was a young man, I look in a group of women, two women turned on to right away. Those are probably the potential ones for me. The other ones are not even a potential. So he needs to feel the attraction right away. Women need to feel curiosity. They need to feel he's pursuing her. Yep. She's interesting. He's interesting. Don't expect her to flame on. The flame on happens when you have a pattern of seeking out unavailable men in order to win them over because you didn't get daddy's love.
What's your question?
Hi, I have two questions. The first one is how to best communicate that in my culture, we don't really date to be in a relationship. We date for marriage. And I find that sometimes that can get a little confusing to people. And then my second question is, when dating high value, high earning men who make a lot of money, I know that these men want to be with women who are, educated, who if something happened, to them, their woman is competent and capable and all those things.
Oh, no, that's true.
Okay. I guess I interpret from when.
First of all women subconsciously are dating to get married for lasting love. Sex is meaningless to a woman if she's in touch with her femininity, unless there's a future to it. So you're not in a minority there. So many, you got all these, women trying to be men, and when they do try to be men, they feel like men and they just want to have casual sex. But you're in a more enlightened place, and there's a lot of women like that. You shouldn't put yourself in a minority. That's the first thing. is that you're wanting to have sex when there's marriage, okay? Or at least the thought of marriage or marriage first, whatever. There's a lot of communities like that. So no problem there. And the second part is a man wants a competent, capable woman who could take care of him. No way. What a man wants is a woman who thinks he's more competent and can take care of her. That's always been the case. Women always marry up, men marry down, meaning in terms of competence. Men marry up in terms of a woman's ability to love. Okay, well, we don't, you know, some of the big complaints women have, I'm just writing about this in the book. I'm wondering maybe in the first chapter it's too soon, but it's a very controversial idea, which is women always complain men don't appreciate them. Oh, you don't appreciate me. Look what I can do. Look what I can do. Look what I do for you, or look what I do in my job. Is that men do not want a woman he has to appreciate. He wants a woman who appreciates what he offers. And if you want to be appreciated by a man, all he's going to ever appreciate you for really is your ability to appreciate what he does for you. When a woman can appreciate what a man does, he will appreciate her. Not for what she does, not because she cooked me dinner, not because she cleaned the house, not because she makes money, not because she's a good mother. It's because she appreciates what I do for her, then I will truly appreciate her. And that appreciation will be demonstrated through my respect for her. I will respect her wishes, her wants, her needs, her priorities. She becomes the number one priority in my life because the number one need a man has is to feel that you can depend on him and appreciate him. That's what men are looking for. I hope
Thank you.
that's too much all at once.
No, there was just a little bit more to the second question. So I guess I
Okay, no,
maybe
go ahead.
misinterpreted. For instance, when we work with Gina, we plug in, what we do for a living. I think that my understanding was if we are just forthright with like the basics about who we are, where we went to school, what we do for a living. I've never had high earning men really ask me or inquire or care about what I do for a living, but I am very passionate about being a business owner. So I would love to, potentially be married, stay at home wife, be able to have projects of my own, not work, but support my husband, of course, obviously, is the primary goal. I find that sometimes I misunderstand how to sort of communicate that I would like to learn about business. Like I've dated businessmen before, and not have it come off the wrong way. So I've never thought that I needed to do for men or be as smart or business savvy or any of that, but more so just how to communicate and balance being feminine and leading in that role while also wanting to be creative and not wanting to have a job in the future and communicating that to someone, but also expressing I'm a creative person. If you're a businessman, I'm interested in learning about your business, and that's just like an interest to me.
I really don't care about my wife learning about my business. Uh, just, uh, when men come home, women complain, what did you do today? Nothing. Same old. It's not like those are the exciting things for me as a man. What a man's excitement is that your ability to appreciate him, your happiness, that you're happy and fulfilled in your life, that you enjoy your job, or you're looking forward to having a family and raising your kids and be supportive on an emotional level. Although I think today, when the kids grow up, I think it's very important for women to have a job or have some role in community. We all are seeking balance of our masculine and feminine side. And the masculine side solves problems, fixes things. The female side asks for help, gets help, receives support, and appreciates and gives love. So we have both sides. What we're all looking for today is to have a relationship to find that balance. And I look at women, remember the movie Stepford Wives a long time ago. These were just wives who had rich husbands and they stayed home all the time and needed antidepressants. They needed to have a job. Women have always had jobs. And when women don't have jobs, and parenting is a job. I certainly respect women who can full-time parent. That's a big deal. And some women just can't do that. They need a little work to get on their male side. But you need to have a balance of the male side. So, but as far as communicate to a man, I mean, you're saying, how do I communicate? You communicate basically sharing feelings and thoughts about things. Be yourself and avoid trying to impress him or please him. Create the space for him to impress and please you. And do that with the men who are more interested in you than you're interested in them. That would be a basic theme that I
I
have.
wish more women went for yes, but women, yeah, I wish more women went for men that they were not that keen on. But They don't really. Now, one thing I will say,
Let me just say the problem with that.
okay,
You're right with you. And I was saying these are all absolutes, okay? Because relationships are all, a lot of this is destiny, in my opinion. There's a tendency in women, their personality tends to be wanting to people please. There's just a tendency, particularly if somebody is turning you on or somebody seems very diverse, you're desiring them more than they're desiring you. There's a tendency to try to impress them and please them. And when you do that, you give up the space to where he can want to please you. You put him in the role of being king who everybody serves. And that just increases your tendency to be a people pleaser rather than try to settle into being authentic and letting a man please you by appreciating his actions, asking for help, sharing yourself authentically, but not trying to change him in any way.
so one thing I want to say, John, a little clarification about, because, I'm a matchmaker. I work with wealthy, successful men, all ages, as young as 25 has been my youngest client ever, all the way up to 89. And I will say, John, what I talk about is just pulled from my real world of matchmaking. And what I know is that, and you can disagree with me, but I'm telling you, for the most part, now I have a 26-year-old right now, and he doesn't necessarily, he just wants her to be naturey. He doesn't care about education or all that. But that's unusual. I do find the younger ones who are looking to partner and have offspring, they usually say if they've got an advanced degree and went to an Ivy League school, they really want that in a partner. Now, then I find out when the men who are divorced, they've been there, done that, they come back through, and now they realize they don't necessarily care about that so much. They just don't want her to be dead broke. But
I can get you there. I hear you there. I have two of my clients who have unlimited problems are both Harvard graduates. You'd think people are intelligent, they wouldn't have relationship problems.
but they do. Yeah, they do.
That's usually just status, and men are into status, women are into status. And so he could feel there's no question when you're talking about one is a successful man, another is a highly educated man. Highly educated man, they live in Ivy Towers, and it is presumptuous. They think, oh yes, I need to have a partner who I can introduce who has a PhD in this, and she can do research in school. So I think we're aligned on that one.
Yes, fair enough. I see.
Anything you disagree with me, please tell me right away so I can.
Absolutely. No, but I did want to
experience. I have the experience, so.
Would you like to come up and ask your next question?
Hi, Gina.
Hello.
Hi, John.
Hi.
John, I've got two questions for you. What is the most important thing we should be doing to help ensure we're bringing our best self forward as we find our way to our man? And also, what's the best suggestion for leaning into our feminine side? Thank you.
Okay, great questions. And Gina, stay in touch with me. I'm about to recommend my app. It's not yet finished, but this is an app and it's a process. You can start doing it already. It's in all my books, is a process called the feeling letter exercise. There's nothing more powerful to connect with your female side than before you share your vulnerability with a man, share it with yourself, which is if you're single, you feel alone, you feel disappointed, you feel frustrated, you feel angry, you feel sad, you feel afraid, you feel ashamed, you feel guilty, you feel embarrassed. You can't not have those feelings in a wave several times a month. That's authentic. Everybody goes through this, and women go through it more than men, generally speaking. And what it is, it's a function of estrogen. Is when your estrogen levels go up, or when you're feeling emotional, your estrogen levels go up. If you push down those emotions, you push your estrogen down and you become defeminized. Part of the month, you need to make, just to be happy and attracted to a man, you need to make 10 times more estrogen than him. And for a man to feel romantic attraction for you, in his presence, your estrogen needs to go up to, rising up to where eventually really romantic feelings, it doubles. So this is all a function of femininity. When is a woman most feminine is when she feels most romantic. And that is what's going on in her body, is doubling her estrogen. Well, when you write out your negative emotions that I just talked about, just with I'm feeling this because, I'm feeling this when, I'm feeling this because, you're just writing it out, journaling your feelings with emotions. and processing through, never just looking at one emotion. If you're sad, you're also afraid. If you're afraid, you're also angry. If you're feeling bad, you're also sad and you're angry. So there's a range, and I explain that process in all my books have it. It's called the feeling letter technique. The most powerful way to connect with your female side is to take time whenever you're feeling distress. Give yourself permission to feel lonely, and in loneliness, you have all these emotions. It doesn't make you less of a person. Everybody goes through it, and you write it down, and when you write out those feelings, just to be in touch with your emotions, sharing it to yourself or to God or to a therapist or coach or whoever, you will produce a lot of estrogen, and that estrogen is what makes women most attractive to men. When women's estrogen goes up, they put a pheromone out, and a man has a little nose inside of this nose that detects female pheromones and turns him on. Okay, so attracts him to her. So it's kind of like when a woman's estrogen goes up, there's a job he can do. At times of the month when her estrogen really is not very high, or if her estrogen just isn't high, it's like a job out there that doesn't pay, because a woman's capacity to appreciate and trust is all dependent upon estrogen levels rising due to interaction with a man. Is that helpful to understand, Gina? And
Yeah, no, it was great. Did you get your question answered?
oh, I think
Yes,
I got
thank you.
half of it. What was the first part? That was connecting with your female side. What was the other part of it?
The other one, can you still hear me or am I muted?
Yep,
I
we
hear
can
you.
hear.
Okay, the other one was about how to ensure the best thing that we can do to ensure that we're bringing our best self forward as we navigate our course to our man.
I think I've covered that a little bit. Is just watch this tendency to try to impress him and please him, and create a space for him to pursue you, a space for him to pay for the meal, plan a date. He says, "What do you want to do?" Don't ask him, "What does he want to do?" Okay, this is like big mistake. Guys say, "Hey, what do you want to do this weekend?"
I have a question, John, on that note. So
Let me just finish it, which is he says, "What do you want to do?" He said, "Well, here's 3 things I like to do. You can pick." Never tell him what to do. Let him know the options. Let him pick. Then he's the leader. Then you're appreciating him.
Okay, so
Great.
you kind of covered what I was going to say. So basically, because I know a lot of women struggle with this that comes up. A man is going to take them out, and a lot of times the man will be like, well, where would you like to go? Like the guy
Right.
will ask, where would you like to go? And the women, there's this whole philosophy where, oh, if I tell him where I want to go, then he's not a man who can pick places and take the lead. He's not going to be a leader. But
Right.
that's the craziest thing I've ever heard of.
It's the craziest thing. So what I said was one thing that said, "Well, where do you want to go?" That's the codependent woman. And the other one is he should already know or he should take the risk. So no, he doesn't know what you want to do. He's a good guy. He wanted to do something. But it is true. If you just say, "Take me here," then he becomes kind of like not the leader. So give him 3 choices.
Love
Just
it.
say, "Here's something, here's something, here's something." You pick.
Right.
Then he
Right.
picks it, then he owns it.
Love it. That is awesome. That is awesome. How much more time do I have with you, John?
You have no more time.
Hang on. I'm going to ask you a question. Where can we get the Mars Venus wellness solutions? Because I
Yeah.
can't figure out.
I used to have, oh, you can download the book very easily.
Oh, I know I have the book. I got all the
All
protocols.
the products are gone. But let me tell you what I do instead is I recommend to people, and a big issue, okay, I'm not looking at any of the women, but I know that when a woman is not overweight according to what she feels is overweight. Okay. If a woman looks in the mirror and thinks she's overweight, her ability to be attracted to a man is diminished. If a woman feels healthy and I love my body and I'm beautiful, that makes a man turned on. But if she does not feel, and what happens is we all go through this because our diets are so filled with junk food, is we can't control our weight. And when you feel powerless, you lose motivation, your self-esteem goes down. And so I do have a program, which is how women and men, how does it work? In 30 days, you can lose 10 pounds by increasing the amount of protein in your diet and lose fat without losing muscle mass. See, the problem with fasting and all these things is people lose muscle mass, and that's not good. It lowers your metabolism. You gain more weight. So this is a proven formula with what are the studies? Peer-reviewed studies, 3 peer-reviewed studies. There is no other weight loss program except the Mediterranean diet ever having a peer-reviewed study. So this is just this quick thing to lose weight, but it's 10 pounds in 10 days, and it stays off by increasing the protein in your life. Gina, if anybody wants coaching on that, I have a partner. She does the coaching on it, and I've recommended supplements that she will tell people about.
Oh,
And
great.
it costs about $160 to start. Okay.
And how do we get the info on that? Where do we go?
Go to, you have my email?
Yep. Your email, we have your Mars Venus website.com.
If you go to Mars Venus website, just go to contact us, say, I want the coaching on weight loss, and give your phone number. And then Ellen, who's my partner in this, she will coach you to how to do this program, tell you all about it. It's fantastic. I just don't have time to go through the whole process, but it's very unique. It's the only program ever measured where you gain muscle mass and lose the fat in your body. And that's what you want to get rid of, is the extra fat, and it's not good for us. And it also helps to balance blood sugar and a million other good things when you do that. So thanks for asking.
One last question I'm going to ask you. Oh, and we're going to learn about the app. Tell us about the app really quick.
The app will come, but what it does is it writes the feeling letter for you.
Oh, that's great.
It asks you 5 different questions. It then writes the feeling letter. It writes the response letter. It writes your response to the response letter. It gives you 12 affirmations. You pick one. It did give a commentary on the affirmation. And then it tells you a story.
Wow, that's amazing. When's the app coming out?
It's already working on my computer. I don't know how long it takes to get it at Apple, but it's
Got it. Oh, good. And so last question, what is a complaint-free relationship?
A complaint-free relationship is where a woman learns how to ask for what she wants rather than complain to get what she wants. It's the art of asking.
I love it.
Every complaint is just a poor form of asking for help. And so how to learn how to ask for help is what I cover in that book.
I love it.
Mars and Venus.
Yeah,
okay.
Beyond Mars and Venus, ladies. This is the one.
It's a great book. And
I love this one. This is amazing too.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, John. You're the best. We appreciate you very much.
Thank you, Gina. Pleasure meeting you.
Okay, you too. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Oh my God. That was incredible. I am truly, truly grateful that we had John here with us today. Wasn't it incredible, ladies? John Gray has more to say about men and women and more knowledge than most people will ever know. And having him here today, like I said, was truly an honor. Make sure that you check out his books, okay? Especially Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And then the other book, his follow-up to that, Beyond Mars and Venus. They are both absolute must-reads. You can find everything about what John is up to, and he's always up to something, at marsvenus.com. And if you love this show, if you love this episode, and if you love what I'm doing, please share it, subscribe, and leave a review. I love to hear what you have to say. And by sharing it, it helps more women find the show. So, until next time, ladies, keep those standards high, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening.
Want to keep up with more of Gina's advice? Follow her on TikTok and Instagram at matchmaker Gina Hendrix, or visit her matchmaking website, ginahendrix.com.